how do you stay creatively fresh when, you've got, 50, 60 episodes done in some cases, and you're plotting the road ahead? Where do you turn to look for something that's going to keep the show fresh and new?
Our show is always almost getting canceled. So what happens, and this is not a joke, I'm serious, every year we're like, well, this could be it. And we just decide to just go for broke and tell the kind of biggest stories. Like, we're kind of like this, the season finale may be a series finale. And this last season was our Leslie Knope, our main character, Amy Poehler, ran for office in her town. And at the end, we had to decide whether she won or lost. And ultimately it was like, she's got to win, because this could be the last time anyone sees this show. And it would be too sad if it were like, she came super close. Bye. So every year, like when we get together, it's just like, let's just, to use a football term, when a wide receiver is running at top speed and jumps and goes parallel to the ground to catch the pass, the announcers will often say they laid out for the pass. Our show just lays out every year. Like, we just decide to just go for broke. And it's very daunting, because now we did get picked up, and now we're back in the room, and now it's like, ugh.
We have 7 amazing characters, and they continue to grow. And while we tend to focus on smaller stories, in our last episode of the season, the same character got married and was sent to the space station.
Sure, small story.
So we're going to be building off of that, starting in season 6.
Every year you do it, and you don't know, you're doing it, you're making the show, and you're making the season, and then you're done, and you go, oh my God, we did it. And then you don't know how it happened, and then the next season, like this is our 4th, you guys have been in more. I have no confidence that we could do it again. I don't know how it happened. And you were looking at the next season, you just go, how's it going to happen?
It always happens the same way that I think it happens for you guys when you do Curb Your Enthusiasm, which is we also have, 6, not 7 amazing characters, but we have so many terrible friends. I mean, we really know so many terrible people in Los Angeles and in other cities around the United States that we don't seem to run out of things that we want to write about, because there's this endless supply of just horrible behavior.
Laura, coming off the second season of Enlightened that you guys have just shot, is this going to be a very different season? Did you learn a lot from that first time out? What was the second season production like?
Well, I'll ask Mike's help with this, but I feel like we, in a way, we set out with an idea that involved the second season in the hope that we would have the opportunity, because it was sort of the devolving of a character and then trying to put her life back together to ultimately try out an idea of herself that we get to play with in the second season. And so I feel like we've gotten to play around with what initiated as a goal. And it's, I think, much more plot-driven and a much larger story than the first season, which was a very internal story. Would you agree with that, Mike?
I agree.
For you guys on Enlightened, is there a struggle in terms of tone and going a little too far away from comedy, per se, Mike?
Well, yeah, that's true. I mean, when we showed the pilot to HBO, they were like, it's great, we love it, blah, blah. But they were like, it's not really funny, is it? And I was like, well, it's more heavy than some of your comedies. And they're like, it's heavier than our dramas. And I was like, ooh. But to me, I don't think honestly, and maybe I don't know, maybe we shouldn't be here. But there's a part, we didn't really set out to make a comedy exactly. It was a half-hour show designed to be a half-hour show, and in terms of how we were coming at it. But I think the hope was, and at a place like HBO, there's hope that you can do this, is that you can do something that kind of, I wanted the tone to be elastic, because your paranoia as a writer is that you'll get on and have some even potentially success with a show, and then forever you're kind of like caught in some kind of tonal chamber. And it's like, I just want, and for me, it's like I wanted to be able to explore different things and I'll try different stuff. And so I wanted it to be able to be elastic enough that we could, have, satirical moments and funny moments and, even, we're just super depressing. I just want to kill myself moments, which is, like one of the HBO is like, sometimes I just watch your episodes and I just want to kill myself. I was like, so, I mean, but to me, that's.
There's your Emmy ad.
As it goes on, even for the league where you guys are, is it the 4th season you're heading into now? Have you earned the right to get a little, looser on the leash from the network? Do you do your own thing, minimal interference?
People ask us why the show is semi-improvisational and do we really write scripts? And there are these very sort of in-depth, single-spaced 14 to 16-page documents. But the second they become printed in final draft, you trigger a table read. So we don't print them in final draft because then we'd have to have a table read. And if you have a bigger budget than we have, and you don't shoot on location in neighborhoods that network executives are not interested in visiting, then you would be shooting on a stage, like a really nice show, and then they would come over and visit you. So as long as we don't deliver scripts in final draft and we continue to shoot in neighborhoods that they're not interested in driving to, it seems to work out very well.
You guys from the league, you were talking a bit about leaning really heavily into the improv for your characters. And I'm curious, for all of you, I assume you all sort of play with that to varying degrees. Mike, on your show, is that something that has a place? Do you really rely on the talent to give them room?
Yeah, we set aside specific time in every scene for actors to mess around, and we would be crazy not to, because Amy Poehler founded the Upright Citizens Brigade and is like maybe the best improvisational actress in the world. And Aziz Ansari is amazing stand-up and super quick, and Chris Pratt and Nick Offerman and all of these characters, and Aubrey Plaza, came up through UCB. I mean, it seems it would be weird if we didn't try to let them goof around a little bit. And they very often, we always shoot the script. They're very, very diligent about shooting what we've written and the story points that we have spent time crafting and figuring out and making sure everything holds together. We get that, and then we basically say, now beat the jokes. Try to beat this. And it's a really fun, collaborative way to do TV, I think, is if the writers are like, if you can beat this, great. That makes my name's going on it. I'll look funnier. And the actors are happy because they get time to try do things and stuff. I mean, I don't know. I can't conceive of any other way to do it than the way that we do it. It's very loose and very fun. And that came from Saturday Night Live, where the actors are also writers and the writers are sometimes actors. And that method just is very appealing to me. And I think it leads to the best possible product.
Laura, what about on your show? Is there much room for that kind of thing with your talent?
I think, Mike and I try to make sure our talent doesn't,
You guys being
mess
the
with
talent.
we try to really keep them reined in. No, I think we always, play with everything. And I have to say the luxury of this experience for me as an actor who's mostly worked in film and had never done a television series is that we film every episode like a small movie. And it really feels like we're just, making a series of small independent movies every couple of weeks or something. So it really has the luxury of focusing on telling that story that week and trying things as we go. And I think everybody feels safe to improvise and explore. And just speaking to your former question about, the support for these flawed protagonists, we're also working at HBO, which I've said before, but they really have created the energy of United Artists in the 70s, where they sort of expect deeply flawed people and are somehow interested in heroism being humanity. And so we get to show up and say, maybe there is something heroic about somebody who's willing to show everyone exactly who she is, and there doesn't seem to ever be judgment, both in what we present and what we try out on the set and cut together. So it's a great, very blissful work experience in that area.
Mike, what about for you? I mean, you've done the sort of dual duty thing as writer and actor before, and what's it like for you to sort of wear both hats?
What's it like? Oh, it's exciting. I don't know. It's
Is it challenging?
It's yeah. I mean, to me, it's actually fun because like what's annoying about being a writer is that you write the thing and then it's not so much true in TV, but in general that you write the thing and then everybody's like, okay, cool, we'll go off and party, and then you're like, bye, and you're like sent back to the cave, like keep coming up with that stuff, and you're like, and it's so I. For me, I was like, oh, I don't want to go, so acting is like you can, you're like, you're invited to the party and you can have fun and so that's my experience of it.
Lovely. Stephen, back on that improv question. I mean, does a Chuck Lorre script stay the same, beginning to end, or do you give the actors time to do their thing?
I would love to tell you that there is improv, and there just
Doesn't have to
there
be.
isn't, and not that our actors aren't funny and quick-witted, but we will change it often. There are rewrites all week long, but not a whole lot on the improv side for
Do the
us.
talent, though, off screen have input into their characters? I would imagine after a bunch of seasons go by, actors have an idea.
Again, I would love to tell you that that's what's going on.
Okay.
Sure, yes. You know what? Yeah.
It's just us kids. You could be
Because you'd love to tell them just.
I don't know, we've made it this far doing what we've been doing, and the actors have faith in us, and we have incredible faith in the actors, and it's so far so good. So we haven't tinkered with the formula.
Is there like a little grassy area where you let them outside to like run around and play a little bit? Like the
I love my actors, and they love us. And on shows, in shows I've been on in the past, there has been sort of this weird unspoken divide that I've between the writers and the actors. And on Big Bang Theory, there has really been none of that. They are lovely people and actually friends of ours, and it's been amazing.
There's not that much difference just between a scripted show or a semi-scripted show or a soft scripted show, whatever you want to call it. I mean, the difference I know for us is we're rewriting in real time, right? The rewrite, we've written it, we've worked very hard on a structure. Like you were saying, the structure is everything. If you've got a funny story and you've got a funny scene because you know why this person's coming in, you know why this person's coming in, then our goal is get the funniest people on the planet to talk about that. They're really funny. There's some lines here. Say those. Use that as base camp. Keep climbing up the mountain. We'll keep trying things. We're rewriting. Oh no, don't do that. Do this. Don't do that. Do this. You're rewriting on the fly, and instead of through the week, because we don't have rehearsals, so you do it there, and it grows and it evolves, and it's for us. What's nice is it's the funniest thing. Whatever the funniest thing is, it doesn't matter who's saying it, and for us, what it looks like shooting, because we have 3 cameras going, we often have 6 people talking, and we're behind. It's us behind the monitors and there's the guys in front of the cameras, and it looks like the New York Stock Exchange, but with jokes. And it's just people are shouting and they're saying this and that. We're moving the cameras back and forth. It looks like it's insane. It looks like it shouldn't work. But at the end of the day, you've gathered a whole bunch of stuff with really funny people, and you've had your script and made it better. It's the best of both worlds.
Do you guys watch other stuff, and does it inform your own sort of creative strategy as you watch your own shows? Or are there shows out there? I mean, there's the usual answers of the Modern Families and the big shows, but are there things out there that you want to sort of point out to the audience and say, you guys should be watching this because they're really doing some interesting things?
I mean, I love your show.
Thanks.
It's really funny. That's a show that I watch. I watch it from the beginning, and not to blow smoke, but you watched it sort of find itself, and I think it's the actors remember, and it's an amazing show right now. And that's a show That and I would say 30 Rock, always the jokes on 30 Rock are still some of the strongest things. When I watch it, I go, that's really funny, and I give it, it's the highest compliment, which is just jealousy. Go, oh, I wish I'd thought of that joke. It's such a good joke.
I curse at 30 Rock a lot. I'm like, God damn it! When there's a joke that I like, why did I not think of that? I
Yeah.
do that all the time with that
Yeah,
show.
jealousy is the highest form of flattery.
Yeah, it really is. For writers, it really is. It's like burning white hot rage and jealousy is the nicest feeling we can have for other writers.
I loved your show. I was so angry.
I wanted to murder you. Congratulations.
I would appreciate if you guys stopped laughing at that.
I watch almost exclusively dramas. I don't know why. I watch very little comedy. I think because I don't like feeling rage. I watch a lot of very depressing Breaking Bad, Mad Men, Homeland kind of dramas, and it somehow makes me feel better than if I watch comedy. It's really weird and sad. I'm sorry.
On that hilarious note, unfortunately, that's all the time we have.